Hello traders, Nick Shaheen here looking at Nikola. I've looked at several EVs of late, and I think Helion was the last one I did. So let's look at Nikola here. Controversial stock to say the least. I was long it. My initial impression was I hated it because of my impression of the he wasn't the CEO, the chairman, whatever his name is, the guy that was the front of the company. And he came out more proud of his stock than his company. That was my impression. And then I turned around and was like, okay, GM was on board. Maybe I'm wrong about this. All these billions of dollars committed. And then it turns out that maybe I wasn't wrong. But anyway, I had a long bet on it. That was the only trade I did on it. And it was a winner. I didn't catch it at the best time. I could have managed it a little better, but it doesn't matter. In hindsight, I moved off of it. I'm not trading it now. I'm helping a couple of friends. So let me show you the lines I've had, and I have not updated them in a while. So here we go. Let me see here. This is clearly somewhere around this time when I drew these lines. So the upside potential was if it failed, that it could zigzag its way back up, and that's exactly what happened. It zigzagged its way back up and beat my line. I did say there was resistance along the way, and they pierced one set and then failed towards the other two and back to base. And that's the important part. So this green line, if you look left all the way, look how important it has been since March. So this is like forever for this stock, right? Before it was like way down here, you can't even see it. So it had a spike in March and it failed. It failed, and then they finally based this entire thing from this point. They came back and kissed it like to the penny, and then they have been bouncing off of it. So the presumption is that they will continue doing that, because the alternative is just like Helion. It's game over, basically, technically speaking. So if I'm long, I want to see what happens from that. I'll put my stop below that. If I want to swing high, like if I believed in the stock up here and I'm not buying it down here, I'm making a mistake. But I don't average down in these stocks because it's a speculative bet on the future. We don't know what's going to happen with their production and their sales. We speculate, right? So it's not like I'm averaging down in a sure thing like Amazon that has an income stream, or any other of the growth companies like Zoom. You speculate on the level, but you don't speculate on the business. The business is there. In this case, the speculation level is a lot higher. So I personally do not, quote, average down. And I see in the comments, like for Halion, that people are averaging down. Even though in my video I said I would not average down in these things, you can end up with just nothing. So I'm not saying that the company is fake. I'm even, I questioned everybody saying the truck was rolling downhill or whatever. It's immaterial to me. This concept here is purely based on the chart itself. Do the homework on the company and see if it's legit. I like the hybrid part. I like that he's after being at the gas station versus the actual selling of products. So it's like giving away the iPhone, not really, but selling it in order to profit off the apps type of a deal, or the battery. So in this case, they better hold this green line. I'm not going to extend it. I'm going to leave it right there so I know when I did it. The consequences of losing this green line are terrible. I mean, they go negative, which means it's the end of the company. So I'm going to assume that people did due diligence and it's not a complete fake. If that assumption is real and I want to be patient, I'll probably buy some calls way out in time. So let them hash it out and figure it out, and eventually if they were right, then it should have some value to it. And the call cost, or the call spread cost, is fixed. So that's the only money I can lose, instead of trying to save a full stock position and trying to average it down. And I can buy it up here to make it a complete lottery ticket because they should be cheap, or I can buy it down here to make it an asset against which I can sell shorter dated calls. So that strategy would be selling diagonals maybe, or calendars. But if you haven't done this, this is not the time to start learning. So I'm not recommending anybody get into this. I don't know if they're going to make it or not. I'm saying if this was a stock chart that I trade, these would be my technical comments on it. The machines are buying it at this level. If this level fails, the machine will spit it out like you wouldn't believe. They will start, it becomes a ceiling. People will start to come back to it, and it wouldn't happen, and then they will just fall apart. This is a headline stock. You remember this? And then GM said, well, we kind of still are holding hands, but now it's more like customer relationship to customer client type of a deal, a supplier customer. So not sure what's going on, but technically they better hold this line. Otherwise, some serious stuff can happen. So again, this is not a call that the bulls are right or the bears are right. I don't know. And if you know, then you would take your bet accordingly. But I would give yourself some time. Let them hash it out. Maybe by this time here, they can throw the old guy that they ousted out of the company under the bus completely and say, hey, new company now. Kind of like what they did with GE. You know, they kept putting in CEOs and they didn't work, and then finally they got the right team. So maybe that's the opportunity here, because there are billions of dollars in there. So they can't be all stupid. Yeah, that's like the easy way of thinking about it. All right, Nick signing out.